Show.
What's happening, family? Welcome to the show. It is Michelle Bryant. It's dark in here. It's Michelle Bryant here at WNOB, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. You are listening to.
You sound like you scared of the dark. It's dark in here.
No, I just noticed it. I was like, it's dark in here. I was thinking it and said it out loud. You are listening to Say Something Real. What's happening, family? Welcome to the show this morning. Lot to get to today, but let me start off with the obligatory good mornings to the bros in the studio. What's happening, Mr. Rod Out? How you doing this morning, sir?
Today is Monday, first day of fall. I'm doing pretty good. Summer's gone, fall time.
Fall time.
You know what happens?
Not until 1:30 this afternoon. That's when it's officially fall.
Where you read that at?
No, that is true. Because that's when the sun is gonna be. Is it?
Yeah, nah, green.
See, it's the Kappa or something, and I forgot. I ain't been to school in a minute.
Something equated something is called.
Yeah, to the
really.
Yeah, to the Kappa or something.
So y'all just put misinformation out. The kids got to go look it up for themselves.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what Google's for.
Give you half of it. We don't get it all to you. You got to do some of the work yourself.
That's what Google is for.
Yeah, I don't ever trust when people say Google it.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that inspiring and uplifting.
I just want to say hi, Michelle.
Hey, bro.
Hi, Michelle. Good morning. And carry on.
Well, all right then.
Wow.
I know. Hey, don't rock the boat. Don't rock the boat. Don't get them started.
Hey, man, I'm trying to be good.
Dude. He's a dude.
I'm just saying that I'm on a whole new path.
Leave him there. Leave him there.
I'm on a whole new path.
Yeah, for 5 minutes. Leave him there, Debo.
Yes,
I'm trying to do right.
Good morning. How you doing today?
I am great. I'm blessed and highly favored this morning. The Lord has certainly been good to me. I don't know about nobody else. I can't speak for nobody else,
He's
but
been good
for me and mine, we
to
are blessed.
me.
And with that being said, I relinquish the microphone back to you, Michelle.
Well, thank you for relinquishing, bro. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Well, let me just say this: a lot to get to this morning, but I'm gonna start here. First of all, let me just say, had a chance to go to the fish fry over at Canaan. They were selling fish dinners,
Uh-oh.
and my barber, Big Mo, sent me over there. He's like, "Hey, go support the church." So I went over. Man, end up seeing folks I ain't seen in years up at Canaan. Met some listeners to the station. So let me just say to the good people that I met at Canaan Missionary Baptist Church, coming to get that fish dinner. I sure did.
Now, Cannon's
enjoy
over
it.
there off of Chambers,
Yes.
like 9th, 10th, somewhere
Fred
in there.
Jones is
Yeah.
the pastor, right?
I don't know who the pastor.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah, I
still
think
Fred Jones? Well, I know I didn't get to keep the dinner though.
I was gonna ask, was it good? Because you didn't.
I didn't get to. I
Wow,
I gave it to somebody who had asked for some food, so I didn't get to keep the dinner.
that's good.
But it
But
was
you
good.
Take
It was
from your own mouth and feed others. That is.
whatever, dude.
Oh, jeez, I tell you.
Whatever.
I'm saying that's.
I'm not messing with you. All right, so let's get into this day. Man, it feels overcast. It feels funny today.
Possibly some rain this afternoon.
Feels good. Say what?
It's supposed to be possibly some rain later on this
Yeah,
afternoon.
but we've been dealing with that all weekend, off and on.
I got a quick question, Shannon
What?
people.
And he said he was gonna be nice.
I am
Pretty
been
young
nice.
thing would
I
be
just got a question.
happening. What?
Now, is it me or is it that when you look at yourself in the mirror, in different mirrors, you look
jeez.
different?
Hey, we
No,
can't work out. your
Wait,
issues.
hold on. I'm just asking the question.
Why?
Well, because I'm about to tell you. So have you guys ever noticed that when you look at different mirrors because of the lighting and things like that? Man,
Why?
you look different.
Why?
In different mirror.
Why?
I'm just asking. So just answer the question.
We
and then
co-signing
I-
I
nothing
personally
first.
never noticed it.
Really?
I mean, lighting
Yeah,
is
I noticed
lighting.
it. Now go ahead. Why?
Oh, okay, so you have noticed.
Yeah, why?
See, I can't stand you.
Because
Well,
I know you on some nonsense.
No, seriously.
What?
And I've been thinking, and it's not a car moment. I just been thinking. Now, since we can't look at ourselves without looking in the mirror, right? So since we look different in each mirror that we look in because of the lighting, how do we know what we really look like?
Let me tell you something. Save your zing
I'm just saying.
philosophical
Am I tripping?
weed questions.
That's
Why
right.
gotta be
For
a
another-
weed question? It's
for
not a
another
weed
show.
question.
Dude, I don't have time for you, Jermaine. Didn't I tell you not to kick it up, Debo? I
Okay.
told you.
I
Yes,
didn't.
you did.
How did I
Yes, you
kick it up?
did. Because he was quiet and then you kept picking.
I just asked
And
the
he started.
question.
Leave that boy alone. I told you this man ain't right.
Someone asked the question. I'm just saying, if we look different in each mirror
You know
because of the
what?
lighting
Not,
in the room, how do we know what we really look like?
I'm not messing with you.
Camera.
Debo.
But because of the lighting, you still look different on camera.
See?
Because you could take pictures and you'd be like, I look
I was
fat.
this close.
Or you
I
can
was
take pictures and be
this
like, I look
close
skinny.
to being able to just.
I'm just
Well, they say a camera put 10 pounds on you anyway.
so how do you know what you really look like? Again, going back to my question.
Ask your mama.
Oh.
Ask your mama.
Oh, I'm
She will
gone.
tell
How do you know that's really your mom?
What? See, now you got people texting me. Yeah, when my aunt went through menopause, she didn't recognize herself.
See, I'm telling you, I know I ain't tripping.
That was years ago.
I know I
Y'all,
ain't tripping.
don't
But I'm
feed
just
into
saying, so
this.
you said ask your mama. How you know that's really your mama?
See, now he opened up a whole nother rabbit hole.
That's
I'm
you,
just
man.
saying.
It's not a rabbit hole. It's not nothing. Because I'm not doing it with
Because you
y'all.
ain't digging.
I'm not.
I just said,
You know, it's
Chef, it was
never
just a question.
for
that,
sure about who your daddy is. But how you know that's your mama?
I'm just saying that was a question that I didn't understand.
Since we all frivolity, why was I looking? I was doing the rabbit hole on social media at one point this weekend. And I didn't know that Michael Jackson song Pretty Young Thing,
Mm-hmm.
PYT, they showed the credits and who the backup singers were.
Mm-hmm.
And remember the little girl on The Facts of Life, Natalie,
Mm-hmm.
a little kind of, you know, heavy set little white girl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I do.
She was one of the backup singers, Mindy
Really?
Cohn on PYT, and they show a picture of her and Kim Fields, Tootie, and Michael Jackson is laying in front of them, like posing, chilling after they had completed the shoot for the video. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what's going on right now? This little girl is PYT. It's so fun. That was like one of those trivia moments that I was just like, okay, that's crazy. All right, so let me say good morning to everybody that's checked in on text this morning. Hey, family, I see y'all. Dion, you gonna stop pulling up on me at the light. You gonna stop. He pulled up on me again this morning, like, hey, keep your head on the swivel. You need to you need to be looking around. It's crazy white folks out here. Keep your head on the swivel. Okay, Dion. Okay. But a number of things to get to this morning. So let me jump on in. Number one, let me do some updates. So I talked last week about FEMA and the ability for people to put in an application for help if you had a denial letter from your insurance company and you had damage that you had sustained. And one of the key things that I noticed in this press release that Crawley's team put out, the county executive, was something that had been reported on the news that I picked up and I said on the show that evidently is not correct. Excuse me. And that was, it's on a first come, first serve basis. So let me say it like this. As long as you apply before the deadline, which is November 12th, everyone that applies before the deadline will be considered for help. If they do not have enough money, because I think they gave us like right up under $30 million and our claims exceed that, then they go to Congress and request additional funding, which traditionally has been granted. So that is the one thing that needs to be definitely taken away from this press release. But specifically, there were some things that he said. First, the money is not being distributed on a first come, first serve basis. Any eligible individuals in Milwaukee County whose uninsured home or property was damaged in the August floods will receive assistance. And then to apply, just visit disasterassistance.gov, or you can call a phone number, and that phone number is 800-621-3362. 800-621-3362. Now, so I said the part about, they will reach out to Congress if they need more money. For people that may need a U.S. Small Business Administration disaster loan, they have applications for low interest federal disaster loans now open for eligible business owners and homeowners. And the deadline to apply for that is November 10th. And you can simply go to sba.gov/disaster. sba.gov/disaster. So we had gotten some other word that there would be people, and I just actually had a listener text me about this morning. Back on Wednesday, September 17th, SBA customer service. Oh, they were going to be in West Dallas. No, forget that. So I think that's the biggest thing, is that it is not first come, first serve. You just need to have your application in by the deadline, which is November 12th. And I think I'm just trying to make sure, because Congresswoman Moore put out a press release too, and hers pretty much had the same information. She did say something different. If you would like to appeal the amount of assistance you received, you can appeal within 60 days of the date on the decision letter from FEMA. So you do have, like, just say they came in, they looked, and are not giving you what you think, the claim should be, you have the ability to appeal that decision. So I just wanted to make sure. Somebody said we applied. They did an on-site inspection on yesterday. And then this morning, let's see what we got. Home repairs approved. Miscellaneous items approved. Miscellaneous items approved. Personal property not approved. So out of 4 things, home repair, miscellaneous, they got it. So thank you for sharing that with me, to the listener who just sent it. So remember when I was talking about how long this could take, and we were being originally seeing upwards from 60 days to 90 days, depending on volume, depending on the claim type, depending on what needed to happen. So for folks, if you hear people from FEMA saying they need to come out to the house, because I know some people have raised concerns, make sure that people got access and they can get in and see what's going on so they can help you as quickly as possible. So that is encouraging to the homeowner who sent that information. Thank you so much. And again, if you need any help, FEMA has the 800 number, 800-621-3362. So thank you to those legislators who put that information out, and we could clarify. Homeowners who apply for FEMA should also apply for SBA. So let me just tell you on the SBA piece, let me just look real quick. Because and I was surprised that homeowners could apply for SBA, not unless your home is your home office. So maybe that's it. But what they have under here is applications for low interest federal disaster loans from the U.S. Small Business Administration are now eligible for business owners and homeowners. In addition to businesses and most private nonprofit organizations, homeowners, renters, and personal property owners may also apply to SBA for, now this is a loan though, for a loan to help recover from a disaster, even if you do not own a business. Really? To apply for an SBA disaster loan. Okay. Yeah, I guess so. So yes, ma'am, I guess so. But it's a loan. It's not, money that's being given. It is a loan. It is a loan. Let me say it again. It is a loan. It's not money that's being provided in assistance. Okay. So I'm dragging my feet because it's a couple of things that I need to get to that I just really don't want to get to in relationship to some of the. Okay, somebody said, good morning. Can you speak to whether there should be a fee for applying for assistance? My mom has tried several sites that ask for fee. No, there's no fee to apply for assistance. If you are going through FEMA, thank you so much for that text message, Tyra. No, there is no fee to apply for FEMA assistance. That's what they are telling people. Be careful of some of these scams and people trying to take advantage of people. There is no fee. The FEMA number, someone said, can you repeat it? Yes, I can. That FEMA number is 800-621-3362. 800-621-3362. And real quick, let me just pull this up and see if I can see it. Because they have definitely been trying to warn people, folks coming out, like they're able to do work and this is what we can do at your house. So a couple of things that FEMA has said that have been scams that have that they've been contacted about. Impersonating officials. So scammers posing as FEMA staff. And that's why I know people were leery about folks coming to their house. Michelle, I don't know these people. Scammers posing as FEMA staff and inspectors demanding cash for services like home inspections or help with applications. Legitimate FEMA workers always carry their official photo ID and will never charge you for assistance. So no money should be exchanging hands. Anybody asking you for money, you need to get them out your house and get away from them. Contractor fraud. Unlicensed and unscrupulous contractors going door to door Demanding large cash payments up front for repair work they either never complete or do poorly. Wisconsin officials have reported incidents of out-of-state crews scamming victims in this way. Identity theft. Fraudsters may use stolen names and social security numbers to apply for FEMA assistance. If a FEMA inspector visits your home and you never apply for aid, or if you receive an unexpected letter from FEMA, your information may have been compromised. So, you didn't apply for aid, and all of a sudden FEMA sending you a letter talking about a claim. Somebody may have used your information to fraudulently apply for a loan, because remember that money's being direct deposited, so it can go to their bank account, but your name is on the claim. Fake grants. Scammers may promise a disaster grant in exchange for a large advance payment. No fee is required to apply for or receive legitimate FEMA disaster assistance. And I'm just trying to see, if you suspect somebody is doing something inappropriate, you got a question about somebody who shows up at your door saying they're from FEMA. They may even flash a badge, but you still don't feel comfortable. Tell them to hold on, go to the phone, lock the door, go to the phone, and dial 800-621-3362. They can confirm their employee's identity on that phone call. Okay? So thank you so much for bringing that up. That we got to make sure people are taking care of themselves and not being taken advantage of. Anybody else got FEMA questions? If we can answer them, we will be glad to help. Again, I appreciate the county exec's office for putting out the clarifying statement about the fact that you just got to apply by November 12th. Okay. So November 12th, you got to apply. All right. And there are a number of things you need when you do apply. We've gone through those before, but we can again. Someone said our inspector came Saturday and the website is very user friendly. He made it clear if you had a TV in the basement and one works upstairs, they're not replacing. Hold on. Ooh, some people had like 70, 90-inch TVs in the basement. He made it clear if you had a TV in the basement and one works upstairs, they're not replacing it. They're not covering the deck or fence or garage, which makes sense. Is it true it's first come, first serve for money disbursements? No. That was the thing that Crowley's office put out. It was on the media. It was in the news. I know that's where I heard it at, and I repeated it, and that's not correct. Everybody that applies up until November 12th will be considered and eligible and receive money if found to be eligible for FEMA assistance. If they run out of money, they can go to Congress and actually apply for more dollars. So no, it is not true first come, first serve, but there is a deadline on when you can apply. And that deadline is November 12th. Let me go to the phone line. Hey caller, what's happening?
Good morning, Michelle.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, I just wanted to make sure that people, when you engage a contractor, even though you put some money down, but before you make final payment, you must get a lien waiver. The lien waiver says that no lien can be applied to your house if they don't pay their bills. Remember, all contractors have to go buy materials. Most of the time they buy their materials on credit. And if they don't pay their credit bill, the people they bought the materials from can put a lien on your house. So you must ask for a lien waiver before you will make final payment to any contractor, any vendor that says that, okay, you're giving me this down, but I need my final payment. Nope, you won't get that until you give me a lien waiver. That's the key word, because so many people end up having liens on their house because these contractors don't pay their bills.
That is so crazy. I didn't realize that. Thank you for sharing that information, Tyrone.
Oh,
what?
yeah.
I done pulled it up now. I'm like, wait a minute. You can come after me because they didn't pay their bills.
Right, because they didn't pay their bills. The vendor that they got the materials from, whatever it is, hardware or siding or roofing or whoever they got it from, now can file a lien on your house because that's where the materials were installed. And then so if it was in the thousands that they say they spent on the materials, then they can file the same on your house.
All right. I'm looking at it. And I see like they got a pro se one I'm looking at online. Um, that the city or the state, I see one that you literally can just do it online, like your own one. Fair value received, for value received, for the labor performed, blah 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 blah. Contractor signature, company name. So they have them even online. Thank you,
Oh, that's
Tyrone.
good.
That's
Oh,
amazing.
yes. Okay.
All right,
Okay. Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Okay. Be blessed. Bye
All
bye.
right, look now. Thank you, family. We got to take a quick break, y'all, but getting this information out, making sure our community has what they need. To the folks that are checking in, it is appreciated. We are learning from each other. And so when I come back, I'm, I have to say a few things about the Kirk funeral, just a few. I'm not going to lay there long, but just a few. We'll be right back. Michelle Bryant, WNOV, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. You're listening to Say Something Real. Hey, family, welcome back to the show. So, taking a couple of minutes this morning, the funeral for Charlie Kirk was held on yesterday. It was a 2 day affair, but yesterday was the day, I guess. And I didn't watch it. Let me preface my comments by saying that I did not watch it. Um, had no interest in watching it. Um, because there was a lot of things that have gone up to this point that I have disagreed with vehemently. I'm still trying to figure out if taxpayers paid for the Kirk family to be accommodated on Air Force Two. I still want to answer to that because if we did, I think that is money that needs to be refunded to taxpayers. Now, I'm sure there are some taxpayers that would be fine with that, um, but that's not the purpose of Air Force Two. Um, there were a number of things that were said leading up to the service that were inflammatory and, you know, people losing their jobs because in some cases, all they did was repeat the words of Charlie Kirk. There's this one sister. I don't know if you guys saw this story. Her name is Karen Atia or Atia. She was the last remaining Black full time opinion writer for the Washington Post. Okay. She was the last. And she was fired from the Post because when Charlie Kirk passed away or was killed, she posted a quote of his words about Black women that was derogatory. She didn't ad lib, she didn't add anything to it. She simply put his quote on her personal page. And that's it. And this woman who has contributed immensely to the Washington Post, I'm talking about a beast, one of the coldest to do it, created lanes for the Washington Post that they did not have in terms of international reach. She was phenomenal. And she was fired for her post following his death. And people are just it, so she said they rushed to fire me without even a conversation. This was not only a hasty overreach, but a violation of the very standards of journalistic fairness and rigor the Post claims to uphold. The Washington Post said that reasonable people question their editorial independence, nor make reasonable people question the Post's ability to cover issues fairly. And so they, basically are trying to stand by what they did. But in another statement, she said the Post not only flagrantly disregarded standard disciplinary processes, it also undermined its own mandate to be a champion of free speech. And literally, y'all, the only thing she put up there, she quoted him when he said that Black women lack brain processing power. That's what she said. She used his words. So how does she get fired for words that are not even her own? She used his words. No editorializing, just his words. And they fired her. So watching everybody come together to talk about Kirk being a martyr and, the next coming of Jesus, even Timothy Dolan, he gets in on the act. And anybody knows Tim Dolan, that the Cardinal is conservative. He says a lot of things sometimes to me off the cuff that got me looking at him sideways. And he was talking about that Charlie Kirk was like, Paul, and I don't know all the stuff in the Bible, but For y'all that know the Bible, he compared him to Paul in the Bible, and that this man, was leading people to Jesus. And I'm just like, y'all, the only thing people are asking y'all to do is freaking tell the truth. That's it. That's it. But I went back and I listened to different clips because I could only do it in doses of what people said. And like, you would never know the divisive language and racially discriminatory comments that came out this man's mouth. You would never know. Like, you would think like literally this was Jesus's little brother that had walked the earth and just, sprinkled joy and love on everybody and just, made life just incredible for everyone. You would not know that this is the man who said the 1965 voting rights should have never passed. You would not know that this is the man who said all of the vile and ugly stuff on a regular basis. And when you hear a cardinal like Dolan, who should know better, like, man, don't get up here and try to paint this man to be no saint, man. And so I was interested because I wanted to know what Trump was going to say. And while Kirk's wife says she forgives the shooter for, he know not what he did, she quoted something like that. Trump was reading off the prompter, so somebody had wrote his remarks for him. And then ultimately, though, he goes off script and he talks about punishing people, and I'm going to look for the exact quote because I had it up. But yeah, at the end of the day, he couldn't stay. He couldn't stay focused. He couldn't stay on message. He couldn't stay on script. And talked about weaponizing and all the other stories that have come out this weekend. Him weaponizing the office of the presidency to use the different agencies that we have to go after people he does not like. And so Pam Bondi, the attorney general, who has done everything but kiss this man's booty on TV. She has done everything, bending over backwards to prove she is a Trump loyalist. He came for her. He came for her. Donald Trump wants Letitia James's head on a platter, the AG out of New York. He want her. And we just saw, attorney general, legal folks in the Trump administration that was trying to go after her in New York say, hey, we ain't got nothing on her like that. We don't have enough to take anything to trial. And so this guy is forced out. He has to resign. But the takeaway literally was that there will be no healing because, number one, people won't tell the truth about what just happened. They won't tell the truth. So there will be no healing. Timothy Dolan, while you lifting this man up as a martyr, why don't you lift up some damn truth? Why don't you do that? And you read the comments and they are literally sickening. Somebody that I was talking to was telling me they had a conversation with a white female conservative who was telling them that Charlie Kirk wasn't racist. I don't know why people are saying that. He wanted the best for Black people. He just wanted y'all to be the best y'all could be. And so this young sister who was talking to this white female, to her credit, she was pulling up the video of the quotes of him saying ignorant racist banter. And the white woman was standing there like in disbelief, like, oh, I didn't know he said that. Oh, no, because you out here defending something and you don't even know what you're talking about. I was so proud of this young sister. I thought I was going to start crying. So it's not going to get better in this country. It's going to get worse because people are unwilling to tell the truth. The same way people have been unwilling to tell the truth about slavery. and the harm that was done to the Black community all these years, all the systemic racism, oppression, everything, bias, everything that they've done to put, I mean, people, it won't get better until people are willing to at least be honest about who's at the table and what these people bring. Charlie Kirk was free to say whatever he wanted to about anybody he wanted to. And in his death, people are losing everything that they have worked for because the government, and let's be specific, the Trump administration and the conservatives that support them have decided you don't have the same rights as this 31-year-old white man. You don't have them same rights. You don't have the same rights. You don't get to say and think what you want to. Jimmy Kimmel has been told you need to apologize and you need to make a sizable personal contribution to the Turning Point USA Foundation or whatever connected to Charlie Kirk. I don't believe for 5 minutes Jimmy Kimmel is going to do that. There's no way in God's green earth that Michelle Bryant would ever do that. Apologize for what? He wasn't even talking about Kirk. He was talking about Kirk's killer. He got fired for talking about Kirk's, or, put on suspension for talking about Kirk's killer. So this white 31-year-old white man is untouchable. Can't nobody say nothing about him. Everybody walking on eggshells and tiptoeing. But this white boy was able to say anything that came to his damn mind. Tell me how this is fair. And then the news media, because everybody's scared. So all of this stuff about quality journalism and please donate so we can keep the truth being told and please help us. Y'all on some BS too. Y'all on some straight BS too. At the end of the day, it is, for the love of money, the almighty dollar. That girl didn't have no business being fired from the Washington Post. None. Claudine Gay, gone from Harvard University over some nonsense. Carla Hayden, Joyanne Reed, Gwen Wilcox, Lisa Cook, all of these is Black women who were willing to open their mouth and speak up about stuff that they saw, or you didn't like the way they responded. Like I said, how was the new Harvard president not fired, but Claudine Gay gets fired? I worked my whole life to get to this moment and lose it in the blink of an eye because you got small, petty people now in control of this country. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hey, Michelle, this is Dion. How are all of you doing this morning?
I'm good. How you doing this morning, Dion?
I'm well. Let me close my door. I'm calling in reference to what Tyrone was speaking of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember a few years ago. I don't know if it was from the 2008 when the housing thing crashed or whatever, but you remember some people own their homes and then they sold them, and for the new person that bought it, contractors were coming after them, and some of them lost their homes because they had the previous owner had past bills that were due.
Vaguely, that sounds kind of familiar. I kind of remember something like that.
Yeah. And whenever you buy or sell a home, you have to get, or you don't have to, they want you to get like that gap insurance, like $125, $150. Therefore, the title company, if they don't do their job and that were to happen to you, you can sue the title company. So anyone buying or selling the home, especially the ones that are buying, it's best that you get that gap insurance. I think it's required if you're buying the home.
Okay. I will definitely look at it. Thank you for that information.
And then one last thing.
Yes, ma'am.
As far as the CK, because I don't say his name, you know how sometimes when people here pass, you know, the ones that are doing a crime and they in the high-speed chases, and you may make mention of, you know, they go to the funerals and they say all this good stuff, and at the memorials they don't say nothing bad. And if you think about it, that's how they doing this man. They don't want people remembering the bad stuff. They only want to speak highlights and good things about him if there is anything good to say. You know what I mean? Michelle, hello.
Okay, now.
We good?
Okay, now.
Okay.
Can you hear now?
Can we hear the show now?
She said no.
They still can't hear it.
Yeah, yeah, everything was on.
Okay. Let's see. We're trying to figure it out. Lena saying can't hear. You guys have broadcasting problems.
She said now it's back on.
They can hear it now.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I wonder how long we've been off.
Yeah. I don't know. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Huh? A few minutes. All right, let's see. People hitting us up.
Okay.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you. All right, so we don't know. We don't
That's
know.
crazy.
We don't know what that was about. What's going? What you think?
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, so it's not a conspiracy, y'all.
Okay.
We were just hearing that we have a backup internet service provider, so that if one internet provider goes down, it'll kick us over to the other one, and there could be a delay in time from going from one to the other. Now, the timing, ha ha ha, is interesting. Let me just say that the timing is interesting as I'm giving my, my speech on um, the FCC, and I'm sorry, not the FCC, but on the whole Kirk situation. But yeah, I just I couldn't make myself watch it. I could not call her. I'll be with you in one moment. I couldn't make myself watch it. And I'm just disheartened when hang on, y'all. I see y'all. We hear you, Been off for about 5 minutes. Okay, perfect. Okay, good. We back in the game. Wonderful. So yeah, so it doesn't look like it was Jay, can you throw this away for me? It doesn't look like it was a conspiracy, but that literally it was just something on our end in terms of the internet. So we are okay. Um, we are okay. All right. So a couple of other things in relationship to this whole thing. Um, where's my phone? The document that came out from the Lutheran pastor, and I'm going back to look at it. Hang on. In which he puts out this long thing. Where is it? A pastoral word from President Harrison. And the person who wrote it is Matthew C. Harrison. Now I'm gonna go to the phone line while I pull up Matthew Harrison's credentials. Hey caller, what's happening?
Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning. Good
Thank
morning.
you for your insight and help with FEMA. Our inspector came Saturday, so thank you for walking the community through some of the things that we're learning. It is surely appreciated. My question is on Charlie Kirk. His birthday is the same birthday as George Floyd.
Is it?
Yes, I think it's October 14th. And my question, the coincidence is like crazy. And my question is, are they trying to make it a federal holiday or just a day that we honor him? Or is it something like a federal holiday that they're trying to do for CK?
So what we were first hearing was that it was an effort to make it a federal holiday.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That I don't think that will happen at all. But yes, they did pass the National Day of Remembrance for him. But there is some resolution, just a National Day of Remembrance. So that
Okay.
passed, but not a federal holiday.
Good. Okay. Yeah, I thought I read somewhere where him and George Floyd had the same birthday. And then also shout out, and I know you'll like this, Colin Kaepernick is paying for the autopsy for Trey Reed down in Mississippi that was lynched.
Yes, I am aware of that, and actually had planned to talk about that briefly this
morning. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. No, you're fine. I'm glad everybody on top of that. But yeah, when I saw it,
I thought about
you. I was like, that's my man. That is my man. So yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And then I'm sorry.
I'm not just gonna say it's crazy that we have to pay for something like that and do something like that. But I'm glad that this brother stepped up in that way to help this family out.
And being an example, especially all the millionaires. If you're not going to do anything publicly, you can work behind the scenes, but we need your help. And then lastly, with Matthew Dodd and the lady from Washington Post and Joy Reid and all these people, Stephen Colbert, do you think that they should band together and get something on PBS and then do subscriptions? That way we can save that network, as well as they'll have the support and they can be back on the TV again.
But this is the thing, as long as the FCC is being used to advance an agenda, they have the ability to mess with PBS. PBS is already, as you know, like you alluded to, helping them raise funding because they in their own funding. Their own funding crisis right now as well. So that's the bad part when we begin to AC monopolies, where it's hard to be able to go somewhere without it being controlled, or you got people in power that's willing to abuse their power to go after political foes, or as Donald Trump says, it should be illegal for anybody to talk about him in the media.
I thought it was independence, but we don't have no independent. You know how those rappers go independent, they don't deal with the record labels. I thought it was like that for like the TV too. We did subscriptions, they can get on there and say if they want to say.
You know,
But that's not the case. It's still
you
FCC.
still got regulations somewhere out there to, to kind of get at you and monitor what you're doing. So we in a real different situation. And
Oh
for
my God. People, please vote. Please vote.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. This is one of the first things that they do when they trying to change democracy in the way it looks is they take out the media. They take out the media. The first thing they do is get control of government, which we talked about before. They got control of the government. And Joy Reid had did a post recently where she was like, so what is it that y'all still mad about, y'all being conservative white folks and white men particularly? What y'all still mad about? Y'all got control of every level of government in terms of the Supreme Court. You done stacked it with your cronies who are doing your bidding for you. You got control of Congress. You got the House and the Senate. You got control of the White House. You got control of all of the agencies. They're doing everything you want, and yet y'all still angry and y'all still, exacting revenge and power, just hateful, stupid stuff. And then today, I looked at this announcement that Trump has been, talking about. Oh, it's a big announcement coming out. And I think it's going to be in relationship to autism and that they know what causes autism. And we have a regular listener to this show. I have at least 4 people that are regular listeners to this show that either have autism or they have children that have autism that I know, I know and have had conversations with them about it. And for people to play around with what's going on in this country, and you got an idiot like Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who's on this. This dude is a former dope head. Like, you supposed to be able to give people grace and forgiveness, but Robert Kennedy was a pipe head, y'all. Like, literally, this dude was a dope head and no medical background whatsoever. And so as they sit here saying that they got this big briefing coming today at 1:00, you just realize how much trouble our country is in. That they are supposed to be announcing some medical findings related to children and autism, mothers taking Tylenol while they're pregnant, some nonsense. It to the point that the last caller made, if we don't understand what happens when we don't show up, and we still got 3 years left of this. I got to take a break. Caller, you'll be first up when I get back. Michelle Bryant, WNOV, 860 AM 106.5 FM. Be right back, y'all. All right, family, welcome back to the show. Take a couple more minutes on this whole Charlie Kirk piece. Then I want to hit some local stuff. But let me go to the phone line. I said I'd get them in right away. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Morning, Michelle.
Hey, Angela, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing. How are you?
Good. Good.
That's good. I just called to say good morning to everybody.
Oh, all right, then. Thank you for checking in. I hope everything's good on that end.
Well, I'm going to go to the hospital and find out. So I don't really know right now.
Make sure you keep me posted, okay?
Okay, I will.
I appreciate that.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Yeah, she ain't good. All right. Lift her up, y'all. Lift her up. Hopefully those, whatever that doctor's appointment say, is going to be something that is manageable. And she going to be fine. All right. So I brought up because I already talked about Cardinal Timothy Dolan and his nonsense talking about Charlie Kirk was Paul in the Bible. And he was, this great devout Christian, blah, blah. I keep telling y'all, if this is what Christianity look like, I'm good. If this who gonna be in heaven, I'm all right. Like like when I die and the big meeting happening in the sky and I turn and I see Charlie Kirk, I'm good. I'm good because I'm be looking at Jesus like, this your boy who was talking about black women and saying we stupid, we're unintelligent. That's who I'm getting ready to walk around heaven with. And I just want to ask Timothy Dolan, so you telling me that God, for the devout Christians, that God is saying, yes, Michelle, Tim, this is one of my people. And yes, he dogged every group known to man other than white men. He dogged everybody, but yeah, he one of my guys. And you look at a Timothy Dolan and so this is what the Catholic Church is telling you. This is what you learning from Mass and the scripture that you study brought you to this conclusion that this man who utters all this hateful stuff is one of God's people. And so this man, Harrison, Matthew Harrison, he is the president of the Lutheran. I want the exact title. What is he? The president of the Lutheran Church. I think that's the way it goes. I'll get the exact thing. But he puts out this letter, letting us know his thoughts on the whole situation with Charlie Kirk. And he said, Kirk, a devout Christian, murdered for his conservative, religious, and political views by a young man who had fallen victim to the ideological demons of our time. It has become clear that the man who killed him had been radicalized by anti-fascist groupthink and rhetoric, which pervades university campuses, circles of political extremists, and especially the internet. And then he goes, there's one point, because this thing was so freaking long, but pundits have criticized lists of Mr. Kirk's statements, which allegedly justify his murder, but no speech of any human being justifies his or her murder. It is also clear to me that very few who make such accusations listen to or watch his events across the country. While I do not endorse all Mr. Kirk's religious or other comments he made in his debates, I do not believe he was a racist and certainly no hater. For real, Lutheran man at the Lutheran Church president. So you listen to him say that the 1965 Voting Rights Act shouldn't have passed, that it created a permanent state of DEI, and you don't find no problem with that. You listen to him say black women were unintelligent, Mr. Man at the Lutheran, president of the Lutheran, church, and you came away with that wasn't racist. You listen to him say that he would get on, if he got on the plane and saw a black pilot flying the plane, you would hope that he was qualified, and you don't think that that's racist, Mr. President of the Lutheran Church? And for all of us that's rushing to send our kids to these Lutheran schools, black children who literally are keeping a lot of these Lutheran schools open, So you got a leader of y'all organization who says it's problematic that he said, I hope the black pilot is qualified, but that's not racist. It might be problematic that he said black women are unintelligent and be stealing jobs for white men, but that's not racist. It's problematic that he said Martin Luther King was an awful person and, whatever else he said negative about Martin that I can't think of at this moment, but it's not racist. Really? President of the Lutheran Church? Really? Really? That's why when I was saying last week about where the black pastors at, I've seen some on the national level. I keep looking for them on the local level who will speak up, because people are using these pulpits in ways that are detrimental and harmful to our community. These are leaders in the Catholic community, leaders in the Lutheran community who co-signing for Charlie Kirk and the ignorance that this man spewed. I don't believe he was racist. And it's always amazing how white folks get to be the determiner of what's racist. You ain't the ones going through. You're not the ones being talked about. You're not the ones being harmed, but you get to be the arbiter and decider of who is a racist. That part is amazing to me. The people who are least likely to even know what racism looks like are the people who feel that they can give platform to what is and is not racist. And of course, if black people mention it, well, then we playing the race card. The people who truly would know if I'm experiencing behavior that most likely is based in racist ideology or prejudicial or biased belief, we don't get to say it. We don't get to call racism racism. Only white folks can decide for us if it was racist or if it was not. This letter is so long, where he goes on talking about what Christians need to do. And, he got all this scripture quoted and, what needs to happen. And you just like, so he says the LCMS, that's the Lutheran Church, also strongly encourages participation by its people in honorable civic affairs of all sorts, from the law enforcement to the military, judiciary, and elected positions. And he talks about how that connects to the New Testament. But see, you got a whole bunch of Baptist preachers won't be in their black churches telling nobody about the connection between their faith and civic engagement, their faith and serving. You won't see that at all. You won't see that half the time at all. So the last thing I want to just mention from him, and here I come, because he even talks about women, basically young women. Find the young Christian man who will use his office as husband to point and lead you to Jesus, love you, rejoice in your gifts and strengths, and treat you as a precious gift of God you are. Help him become the strong man of character and faith he's meant to be. Be open to the blessings of children. If our Lord does not call you to marriage and motherhood, trust his plans for you, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and hope. So yeah. So we telling, the Lutheran women, hey, we need y'all to be these baby making machines, because we worried about the population and the number of black and brown folks that are being born every year, and they will not replace us. I mean, you just got to learn to read between the lines on some of this. You really do. You really do. And then you go, throw in there, love those that hate you. Quote, you have heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies and pray hard for those who persecute you, blah, blah, blah. And then he gives examples of Charlie Kirk's videos, that are a marvelous example of this. It is unreal how this man has completely used the Bible and scripture to justify racist BS. Like, it's unbelievable. But you got our kids in these schools with these, and I'm not saying that everybody in the church feels like the leader of the church, and he's out of Missouri. It's the Lutheran Church, Missouri, and I don't know if that word is pronounced Synod or Synod, but the southeastern, so the South Wisconsin district of the Lutheran Church. That's what it is. South Wisconsin district of the Lutheran Church. And it's Missouri, the Missouri Synod. So Keith will know those terms better than me. But I'm just saying, and when people be looking sideways sometimes at religion, and now that I'm older and more mature, it's not religion, it's the folks that's out front representing. If you take the word at itself, then the word should be okay. But it's when people start trying to interpret the word on their own and use it to justify or explain away the unexplainable or the inexplicable that becomes a problem. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening? Hello.
Hey, Michelle, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good. I'm going to pull over because I know sometimes y'all be getting that wind noise. Hey, Michelle, I know you don't believe in that, what you were saying. There's some white people crap, like they did the slave Bible. True Christians ain't like that. Jesus was not about that nonsense. So, yeah, that blew my mind when I saw the Pope say that, too. I'm like, okay, am I reading the wrong stuff about this dude? So I said, let me try and go back and do a deeper dive, and I don't see anything that he act like Jesus or he act like Paul or anything like that. That's some white people nonsense. That's all.
Well,
So,
no argument.
Trust me, if we do make it to heaven, he ain't gonna be standing there right next to us. So don't even trip on that stuff. Michelle, this is what I don't understand. So what they did to Jimmy Kimmel, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I was watching Morning Joe this morning, and they was playing some of the excerpts from his thing at the stadium. And then this big dummy, after his wife comes on and say she forgives and all this, and he goes like, I hate my opponents and all this stuff. And it's just like, he's the one that keeps this stuff riled up, Michelle. But them cowards in the GOP and MAGA and all that, and the white evangelicals, nobody's calling him on this stuff, Michelle.
I mean, like, literally, he got applause when he said it.
And laugh.
Yes. And so
what's the difference what Jimmy Kimmel said and what this clown is doing? There is no difference. And Jimmy didn't mean it like that. And we all know that. We all know what it's about, why he got let go. It's about what Keith say. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. That's what it's about, y'all. It ain't about what he said. Because he said that all of us agree that you shouldn't lose your life over words, even though we know stuff that comes out your mouth can get you in a whole lot of trouble.
And he posted it right after Kirk died. He said just that his heart went out to the family and the kids, and that nobody should die for what they say. He posted something very empathetic, even though Charlie Kirk didn't believe in empathy. He posted something immediately. When Jimmy Kimmel got let go, he was talking about Kirk's killer, not even Kirk.
Right.
So I can't even talk about the man that killed you, because y'all was trying to hurry up and make him a Democrat and a progressive and, a left-wing nut and blah, blah, blah. And he wasn't. That's all Jimmy Kirk was saying. That is it. That's posted on my Facebook page. And so
it's a bunch of nonsense, Michelle. And I don't know, like you said, we got another 3 years of this. I hope not. Right. But I've been looking at this man. I've been looking at his makeup. If his nose fall off and that stuff fall off his hand and we don't see somebody with red skin and horns coming out, it wouldn't surprise me, Michelle.
All right. I got you.
I'm leaving it at that.
No, I got you. I appreciate it. All right. No, the fact, though, that this man literally said, the difference between him and Charlie Kirk, he said, and I quote, Charlie Kirk wanted to reach people and did not hate his opponents and wish the best for them. Trump said, quote, I hate my opponents and I don't want the best for them. So let's be clear, y'all. If you didn't vote for Donald Trump, you're an opponent. So 48, I think Kamala Harris got like 48 point something percent of the vote. Like their margin was very thin in terms of what her actual vote total and his vote totals were. So the 48% of Americans who did not vote for Donald Trump, we in effect are his opponents. He gets up on this stage at a funeral and says, I don't want the best for people that are opponents of mine. I don't want the best for them. I don't want anybody basically that voted against me to be okay. But in reality, he don't want the best for the people that did vote for him either. Because the decisions that he's making, it's not just impacting the folks on the left, it's impacting everything. Farmers are in trouble in this country. They're going to have to do a bailout bill for these farmers because they're getting ready to start losing these farms left and right. A lot of those people, not all, but many of them, that's his base. Somebody said to me yesterday, not somebody, my son. My son said, Mom, because my son lived in Florida for a number of years, then in Georgia. And he said a comedian had made a comment the other day. He said, I don't know when is the last time I heard Spanish. And my son said he thought about it for a second. He was like, you know what? This dude is right. Because everywhere I could go in Georgia and Florida, you hear Spanish. Like I'm learning Spanish because I hear it so much. And like a lot of these people have disappeared. New construction is going on in his development that he lives in. He was like, those workers are not there anymore. They gone. He said they were in Miami and Miami was looking real light. And I was like, what do you mean? He said, you could do elbow to elbow. He said, Mom, you can see the impact of what's going on in relationship to the fear, because not all these people are illegal, but folks trying to stay out the way. I don't need those problems. I don't want to walk around with my freedom papers that say it's okay for me to be on this construction site. So they are disappearing themselves. What did I say in DC? They said the folks that lived in the were staying in the homeless shelter that would normally get up, go look for work, or they won't even go outside because they don't want them problems. They don't want to end up sitting in a jail somewhere indefinitely. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening? Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm holding.
Yeah, we can hear you. You're on the air.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
So, long-time listener, listen all the time, never call in. Several things I want to, but I had to call in when you read Harrison's letter.
Okay.
I am Lutheran.
Okay.
I received this letter. I never read it. So the first time I'm hearing it is when you read it, because I know it was going to be something disappointing, frustrating, and ridiculous. So just to say, he doesn't speak for all of us. He spoke for his own self. I'm trying to figure out how all of a sudden all of these people seem to be worshiping him. I mean, it's not that, oh, he's a good guy, whatever. You literally seem to keep comparing him to Jesus. It's like, no, it's not. It's just astounding to me that you would make a statement like that.
Yeah, and there's some other stuff, and I need to go down in it that he makes reference. It was either him or Timothy Dolan made reference to even DEI, and said some negative stuff there. And I'm just like, hold on, fam. Because again, at least on these Lutheran schools, if Black kids wasn't going to these schools, Lutheran schools would be in trouble. They would be in trouble.
Right. They the fact that you chose to write a letter, we're all kind of like, a lot of us are kind of like trying to figure this out. Typically, Lutherans don't make statements like,
Okay.
they don't make statements like this because they're not involved in that. You know, they say in church, let's pray for the person, and we move on to other issues, real issues. So the fact that you're taking the time out to make a statement like this, it's like, what is wrong? What's going on in this world that you now? And then I saw like Martin Luther King, I think it was his daughter or whoever, he made a statement in favor of him. I'm like, what is, how did y'all move him into the same place that Jesus is? And no, it's no. I am literally, I don't know if I'm livid. I don't know what. It won't make any difference to write a letter to Harrison because it's going to be irrelevant. You're going to be the one that is going to be seen as prejudiced. I saw another Lutheran leader make a post. They shared a post of some black guy, I don't remember his name, that said he's so saddened that we would come out and say that this man was a racist.
I mean, it leaves a lot of questions trying to. I know. And yeah, I haven't even talked about, and I'm going to do that at some point. I just haven't had the heart to talk about the black people that have showed up in their support of Kirk. And you just sitting there like, you gotta be kidding me, y'all. Y'all gotta be kidding me.
I know exactly how you feel, because when you said you don't have a heart, I didn't have a heart to read his letter. I just didn't have a heart. And the fact that you guys seem to be worshiping him. I mean, I thought we worship God, not man. So this is eye-opening to a lot of us. It's eye-opening. We're watching how many more of you are, because they don't understand, when they agree with him, it makes a statement. It makes a statement when you agree with him.
And I think they do understand that. I think that's the whole point, like you said, because you've been in the cut quiet all of this time. So why step out now? I think that they realize it does show solidarity. It makes a statement. And I'm lending my voice to this cause. I do believe that some of these people are not naive. They know exactly what they're doing. I
don't know if they knew it makes a statement to the black members of their church. That's what I mean.
Yeah, and that part. That part.
Yeah.
Now that's
I don't know that you would make a statement. Are we just sitting there going, oh, this is wonderful?
Yeah. I mean, but for him to think he can decide that Charlie Kirk was or wasn't racist, it just blew me away. Like, he's not a racist.
Right.
This was the other thing he said. It was him. I looked for it while you was talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion. He said DEI has cost you academic advancement and employment. The leftist attack experienced in most universities has ridiculed your biblical faith and the very values you learned from your fathers and mothers, grandparents, and your confirmation pastor. But he said that. He said DEI.
Oh, no, man. No.
Has cost you academic advancement and employment. So what does that mean? Because even if he wanted to talk about religion, but when you say employment, what you talking about? I knew one of them had said it. DEI has cost you employment. But if it weren't for DEI, a lot of them Lutheran schools would be closed. If it weren't for DEI, a lot of them schools would be closed.
No. And I'm going to tell you, I did have one guy that I know that went up to one of the leaders and asked him, he said, I just really want to know, did you research this before you came out with this? Do you know that this man is against my daughter, my mother, my children? He's against them, my wife. And to this guy, to his credit, he said he did not. He did not. He went with the top level stuff. Oh, this is the most wonderful guy. He said, before you come out with something else, please do your due diligence. Please do your studies. But Harrison has. I'm not trying to excuse him at all. I'm just unbelievable. People are like, oh,
yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, no,
it's crazy.
This is what Lutherans believe. This is not what Lutherans believe. This is what Harrison believes and his people.
Well, I just, and somebody else just hit me up. They said, yes, no, ma'am. And thank you. And thank you for calling for the first time. Please don't be a stranger. Call us anytime. I love the opinion and the interaction. So please, if the spirit moves you, definitely pick up that phone and give us a call. It's appreciated.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Somebody else hit me up. They said all the Lutheran schools in Milwaukee and Racine would be closed if it wasn't for black kids going there. Okay. So let me switch. Oh, I got another call. Oh, I got some more callers. I gotta take a break. So let me take a break, y'all. If you can't hold through the break, I want to try to get to this Marcelia Nicholson story that's in the newspaper. County supervisor, chair of the board. There is a piece that's done in the paper that's attacking Marcelia for her spending. And but I'm just gonna say this, because don't ever make me be in a position where I gotta defend people that I don't really have a whole lot of interaction with. So it's like not like Marcelia is my girl. I'm vouching for her personally. But what I do know, I know a hit piece when I see a hit piece. And the fact that they drug Gwen Moore into this article, the Journal Sentinel, y'all be getting raggedier by the damn moment, man. The stuff that y'all do with y'all paper politically is becoming more and more nonsense every day. The way you can tell y'all are being used to attack people, frequently black elected officials. Gwen Morton had nothing to do with the damn story on Marcelia Nicholson, but y'all figured out a way all through this lengthy behind article to drag Gwen Moore into a story that didn't have nothing to do with her. I'll be right back. Family, welcome back to the show. Before I went to break, I had callers, so let me get them in right away. Hey, caller, what's happening?
That's my man. Every time I get you,
Hello?
yes,
Yes.
I listening to you. You know, first of all, I didn't know much about Charlie Kirk, and well, I went back and did some of my. I've heard him, but I never really checked into him because his audience is, you know, an audience that me myself ain't got time to fool with. However, as I went back and looked at a lot of his videos, and that's what I would suggest anybody that's really hung up on it, because it's over with now. But if a person want to keep beating that, you know, trying to ride that mule up the hill, then they should go back and just check out some of this stuff. And
so wait, let me make sure I'm clear. So you're saying that it's over with now, I'm assuming because he's deceased, even though his wife has said she will continue the mission and the work of Turning Point USA, his organization. But it has been Republicans that have kept the conversation on Kirk out there, and people are responding to what's being said.
Well, I believe, and that is true. I believe they were setting Kirk up to run for president in the future to come. You know, that's what I believe, and I think he was on his way to do that. However, when I check out some of his antics and some of the other people, those debates, and I only seen one time that I would really question where he's at when he debated.
What was that? What did he say that you questioned?
Well, no, it was the behavior and how he debated a young black guy. Now he debated a white supremacist, told him, "Hey, you got to get out. We ain't for that." He debated black nationally, and he got it. But it was
what was the problem in the debate with the black guy that made you kind of question or be offended?
The thing is that the young black man had points, but he wasn't aggressive enough. So by him not being aggressive enough, it seemed like overwhelming. But the little fella was holding his ground now.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So you're familiar with Kirk's comments about, if I see a black pilot, I hope he's qualified. If his comments about black women being unintelligent and stealing jobs from white men. That Martin Luther King
but you know,
was
hold
on.
Okay,
Martin Luther King was an awful person. 65 Voting Rights Act should have never been passed. That black people actually did better off in slavery. There was less crime during that time. So you heard those comments and...
No, I haven't heard those. And I need to go listen to those. But check this out. Okay. See, when you look at DEI, see, you got, like you said, we have to read these
things. So, but this is the thing. I'm going to have to actually stop you, because until you actually know what you're talking about in relationship to Charlie Kirk, this is not a full circle conversation.
Okay, that's cool.
So I need you to understand who the man is before you try to tell people, we need to move on. Because you miss key elements of why black people in particular would be offended.
Okay, I'm with you. Now, can I say one thing?
Of course, go ahead.
Okay, the DEI, you always say we need to read between the lines. And if you go to old Joe Madison, we need to look with a third eye. See, when you look at DEI, we as black people only get 4% of that. Okay, the rest of it, the Hispanics is getting probably 55%.
So again, hold on. The main person who celebrates, or I'm sorry, who benefits the most from DEI is white women.
You go.
But again, DEI in and of the efforts to increase diversity, equity, and inclusion in corporations, universities, where black people in particular had been kept out, it was a noble effort. The fact that there were people that came in and abused it is what typically happens. So just if somebody, because if somebody puts a movie theater, somebody put Applebee's over here in Midtown because they said there are no sit-down restaurants for black people right here in this little area at that time to be able to go, especially no chain restaurants, no Chili's, no Panera, no none of that. We're going to put Applebee's over there. So it was done for the right reason. But then people show up and want to turn the Applebee's into a damn nightclub. and hanging out and being, disruptive. And it's no longer a family friendly situation. That had turned it into a spot. So the reason for putting it there was a good reason. What people do to stuff and turn it into something else becomes the problem. Diversity, equity, and inclusion was necessary. It was absolutely necessary. It was one of the few things that was actually put in place to try to address and provide redress for systemic years of slavery and racism in this country. And look, bro, I can't. I got another caller. I want to get them in before I run out of time, because this argument is an old argument.
No, it's not an old argument, because he's talking to his white. He's talking to his white men to get rid of the white women. See, the white woman, I'm
gonna need you to go do some more reading, and then come back and holler at me. And then we can have a conversation. Thank you, player. I appreciate you. Let me go to the next call. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning. First thing I want to say, Mr. Kirk was a stumped down racist, and some of your religious people are some of the most useless, hateful, low down individuals that grace this earth, and they're just hiding behind religion. They have a character and an integrity of a toe fungus. It's always who shot John, how you need to live your life, but it's never what you say or how you feel from your heart. And I feel this religion, along with some of you Bible thumping, backsliding hypocrites who has the heart of a toilet full of sugar honey iced tea, and I stand on it, it is a virus, a bacteria, a cancer. And I'm going to tell you something, Michelle. A lot of these people don't want to share no heaven with them bastards. And a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about, because you got them in your family. This is what messed up people, because everybody always waits to go from sugar to sugar honey iced tea, and they want to find God. I don't care if you're a white nationalist Christian, a black, a Jew boy, or even a white nationalist Christian. All of y'all ain't no good. And anybody who come to you and start speaking that religion, that's the nigger, trash, bastard, no good, MF, and every belligerent word against FCC you want to watch. Because if you're a good person, you don't got to say nothing about no religion. It's just a cover up for the low down person you are from the womb to the tomb. Happy Monday.
Well, thank you, Al. Okay, let me switch gears. On that note, I'm gonna switch gears. There's an article in the paper today, Journal Sentinel, written by someone named Vanessa Swales, or Swales, SWAL, Swales maybe. And this story, the big headline: Milwaukee County Board Chair Marcelia Nicholson spent $13,000 in donor cash on car rides, cocktails, and candy. Now, just listen to that. She spent $13,000 of donor cash on car rides, cocktails, and candy. And so she goes through this whole thing, and they went back and looked at her finance reports, and they found that on Lyft and Uber, going back about 5 years, 2018, that she spent about $9,500 on rides. She said 400 rides over the course of 5 years. Nearly 2/3 of the rides were listed in the last 2 years, according to her campaign finance report. And then she spent $3,600 on food in 5 years. She spent $3,600 on food. Lavish steakhouses, seafood restaurants, high-end wine, cocktail bars, as well as a gourmet chocolate shop across major cities in the U.S. And so then, in an effort to drag Gwen more, she says, there's this quote in here where she's saying that Marcelia said that one day she wants to be like Gwen Moore. So I guess run for Congress. It's funny because we were just talking about this last night, like who's going to run for Gwen's seat at some point. We just had this conversation last night. So then they bring in Gwen Moore, even though this article is about Marcelia Nicholson. And they talk about what Gwen Moore spends her money on. And, Gwen Moore did this and Gwen Moore did that. They said she wants to be the next Gwen Moore. And then all of a sudden now, Gwen's stuff. Moore used her campaign to expense more than $15,000 on Uber rides between 2013 and 14. She used her PAC to pay for Ubers. I mean, like, why are you mentioning Gwen Moore if the story is about Marcelia Nicholson, little reporter girl at the Journal Sentinel, by the name of, where this chick named Vanessa Swales? Why is Gwen Moore's campaign finance issues, concerns, questions in a story about Marcelia Nicholson? It was a stretch, young reporter. You were looking to sling mud and hit both of these Black women at the same time. Now, I'm just trying to figure out on whose behest. Because I know when Dan Bice doing dirt, it's on the behest of the damn Democrats. I know what Dan Bice does. So when you slinging dirt, Vanessa Swales at the Journal Sentinel, who you slinging dirt for? Because Gwen Moore don't have nothing to do with what money is being spent by Marcelia Nicholson out of her campaign account. Nothing. 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 But we're also just coming off a high-profile election for the presidency. And while Marcelia has not been opposed since 2016, some of the stuff that her folks say, I'm going to ride with. You keep up your visibility. You are meeting with people. You taking political meetings. She was doing a lot with the Harris campaign. She was at a lot of appearances for them. I mean, it's not out of reach, but literally $9,000 in 5 years for a political person. I'm using Uber more now because I'm like, things I typically would have driven to, I don't drive to anymore because I don't want to deal with. By the time I paid $30 for parking, I went to a restaurant on Saturday night. I paid $27 to park my car across the street from the restaurant. It was a third of what I spent on my food. For less hassle, I could just take an Uber. Oh, well, she had expensive chocolate. Don't get mad at me because I don't eat Walgreens chocolate with y'all. Because this isn't taxpayer money. This is donor money. And the donors have trusted her to do what she needs to do to stay in office. But this sounds more like a witch hunt. And like I said, you would have had more credibility if you weren't trying to drag Gwen Moore at the same time. And then this person stoops to, oh, are you using more Ubers, Marcelia, because of your OWIs? So if this is about campaign spending, why are you asking me about an OWI? Like I said, don't make me have to defend people. But I know BS when I see BS. And what's this woman's name again? Vanessa. If you're going to have a career as a journalist, I know you got really bad examples of integrity around you right now, because that's not what's selling. I know you don't have a ton of great examples, but don't be a raggedy individual and try to drag people that have nothing to do with the story. Gwen Moore has nothing to do with Marcelia Nicholson's spending on her campaign. And you raggedy Vanessa Swales for doing that. You're raggedy. You're raggedy. Oh, are you using Uber because you're, someone who's been convicted of an OWI? Is that it? You're raggedy, Vanessa. I just want to know whose story this really is. But Journal Sentinel, y'all don't pay attention to what your reporters is putting out and question the integrity of these pieces? Or what you think, because it's Black women, ain't nobody gonna say nothing? What she did was raggedy. Yeah, I could come up with a whole bunch of other words, but I like raggedy. I want to leave it right there. This chick is raggedy. You attack people that didn't have nothing to do with this story. The segue. She wants to be like Gwen, so now I get to trifle through Gwen's financial affairs and drag Gwen in the media. Man, y'all need to do better. Y'all need to do better. You can have a career that is something that people create awards in your name. Or you can just be another fly-by-night raggedy individual whose career does very little because people already know what you about when they see your name on the byline. And Journal, Sentinel, y'all ought to have some standards too. Somebody was supposed to look at that story and say, so what does Gwen Moore have to do with this story? Why is all of Gwen Moore's information included in this story? This is a hit piece, young lady. I just want to know who paying you for it. With that being said, that's a wrap for my show today. Family, I appreciated y'all. I'll pick it up tomorrow. But yeah, when I tell you I was hot as a firecracker reading that. Because I understand what y'all do to black people. I understand. Like this was $70,000, $90,000. She done stole it and, did illegal stuff. Nothing that she did was illegal. Now, just because you shop at goddamn, I almost cuss, at Walmart, don't get mad because I don't shop at Walmart with you. So the stuff on my campaign finance report ain't going to say it came from no place cheap. My lunches don't be at McDonald's. They be at the Capitol Grill. That's where you come meet me. Okay, I had a moment. Bruh, I appreciate y'all. Family, I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.